welcome to Atlanta Tarot. This is the tarot forecast for Cancer for the season of Scorpio. As I said previous to the previous signs, we're just doing things, zodiac sign by zodiac sign now, because I feel like that maybe has a lot more merit, because each sign has an element and each element affects us as humans. So we're in a water element coming up. So it's all about introspection. It's all about feelings. It's all about how we feel about things. It's all about intuition. So let's have a look, Cancer, what's coming up for you in the Scorpio water. So fellow water sign. So perhaps more comfortable for the water signs with Scorpio from what I've done so far. Okay. The lesson for you guys is the Lovers. So decisions to make, weighty decisions too. The Lovers is card number 6, so it's the major arcana for the sign of Gemini. So it's about sort of making that decision, making a choice, but it will have its consequences, as we know. Actions and consequences, Cancer. So whatever's going on, it could very well be with the Lovers. Often it is exactly what it says. It could be about a relationship. Moreover, it's just about a big choice, like a major choice that we have to make. And, once we make it, off we go. So we have to accept whatever comes our way. So we'll see what that is. This is where you are right now, Cancer, the Sun. So illuminating everything. Seeing everything in the cold, hard light of day, basically. The Sun is a very happy card and a very sort of healing card, but sometimes when it comes into a reading, we really need it to scrutinise what's going on, to see it warts and all, rather than just go, oh yes, it's a wonderful day. Yeah, but the Sun can also do damage to things. But the main thing is that the Sun in this reading is, it's sort of glaringly, obviously, to use a pun, to, just illuminate what's going on. And I feel like you are sort of doing that scrutinising at the moment, Cancer. What's brought it on is the Empress. So the Mother card, very much feminine, female card, abundance card, things going really well for you and continuing to do so, because it's in the crossing section here position. So it just sort of says, yeah, doing really well. Also for those female Cancerians or the male Cancerians, family starting, pregnancies, things like this, can be really beneficial at this time. Or if this is coming up for you, it's interesting. It's very interesting, especially being aspected by the Sun. So that's I love this card. It's my favourite one. So growth and expansion too, majorly with the Empress. So we're looking at the Lovers, the Empress, the Sun. So we've got all big cards so far, Cancer. So it's really quite auspicious. The background, or what's crowning the situation. So this will sort of remain here, but it's lost a lot of its weight, but it's still sort of sitting over the top of the reading. And we have the Magician. So there is that, what led up to the choice. This spirit messenger here is the Magician. So he comes in at night when we're asleep, when the brain's sort of really asleep and dead, and comes in with messages from the other world to sort of say, yeah, well, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? You've got all the potential. Come on, do it. Don't be afraid. Take the jump. Make the jump. Now, of course, whatever comes in new for us, or propositions or wonderful things, there's always a risk. But never mind. Only the brave take the risk. The Magician sort of talks, is ruled by Mercury too, which is the planet of communication. And just remember too, Mercury will be going back retrograde in November, I believe. So just try and make your decisions soon, or even if you do make them soon in the time of retrograde, things might sort of get a bit sort of derailed, but that's all right as long as you know that you can expect it. It's when you're not aware that you sort of go, oh my God, what's going on? Recent influences, judgment, so big month for you. So this is clearing karmic debt that you may have with people, karmic debt that you may have with job or situation where you're thinking, okay, things are good, I'm going well. Maybe this judgment card here is sort of you've been toying with the idea of doing something new, trying something new, and it's just like, yeah, well, just go with it. It's time to move on. It's time to move up a level with judgment and clear the karmic debt that you've had with the situation or the people has been scrubbed off, so you've paid it. So you can, you know, clean the board. Fresh start, basically, but with a lot of knowledge behind it. With judgment. The lesson you'll be learning in Scorpio time is 7 of Pentacles, so ongoing. Yeah, this is work too, really, or progress in life in general. Things going really well for you. Beautiful garden of sunflowers, which takes time to grow. Takes a lot of effort and nurture to get those sunflowers there. But that's with everything that we do. If we put a lot of effort in, we do get a nice reward. We reap the reward. So it's sort of saying, look, you're doing really well. You've done really well. That formula can pass on to anything you want to do. If you use that formula in your life, you'll always sort of do well. Putting in and getting out. This is simple. Don't put in, don't get out. Put in, get out. So this is sort of saying this is your lesson. You're doing well, Cancer, so just keep going on. Decisions to be made coming in too, but keep that in mind as you go through the Scorpio season. Near future, and we have death, so indeed Scorpio. So this is the card for the Scorpions. It's the transformation. It's realizing, okay, I have transformed. I've done things that I wanted to do. I've finished all that. Everything's not neatly finished. I've sort of gone from the bottom to the top. I find it a very cleansing card as well. And that's what we actually do in Scorpio time. I believe things come up and we have to sort of deal with them or not. A lot of emotional stuff. So I'm thinking whilst we're sort of really progressing into Scorpio, you guys are going to feel like, yes, yeah, this makes sense to me. I've transformed a lot. And now I'm getting the reward, so I feel really pleased with myself. Brilliant card. Very cleansing as well. What's happening that you're not realising? 2 of Wands, so making new plans, getting on with the next, already getting on with the next plan, the next cycle. And this will move quickly, of course, because you've got the elements behind you. You've really, you know, you've got this new chance and this new choice coming in, which is going to serve you well. It's going to move forward. It's going to be sort of something that goes from one step to the next. It's going to be quite physically, with Wands, it's always physically moving forward. Progress. So there you go. It's already sitting there waiting. You've just got to take the steps required. How other people see you, Cancer, time of Scorpio. Excuse me. Standing on the outside looking in, so maybe a bit disconsolate there, just feeling like, oh look, you know, I really want to do that, but I don't really think I'm good enough. I don't really think it's my time. I don't think, you know, it's all about that standing out there rather than going inside, standing in the snow rather than being in the warmth, because she doesn't feel like she belongs there for whatever reason. It's very temporary. It's a 5 card, so it's all about sort of change. Moving with change, changing the way you see things. Maybe you have had loss before when you've made big decisions, but it's not always going to be the same. The same every time you come to a new decision. And what we can see here, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major cards, 6 major cards already. So it's very well aspected for you to just, yeah, people see you like that, but you know you need to take the punt. What you're feeling positive about in Scorpio season is 3 of Cups. Yes, water, going out, having fun, socialising, a lot of socialising. A lot of happy times, weddings, parties, anything, things like that. Spend that time to do that because it's well earned from what I can see. And also, it's another 3 card. So what I'm saying is, sorry, if there is a pregnancy around you or, you know, trying for a pregnancy, it's a really good time to sort of do so. It's another 3. It can also constitute 3 people, so it can, and it's so well aspected, it could well be something like that for some of you. But for others of you, it's just a time of sort of getting into the social network. I know down here in Australia, we're in spring now, it's slow coming, but people are starting to emerge from hibernation. The weather's getting nicer, so we're going out a lot more than we would in the winter months. So lovely card. You're feeling positive about that. The outcome, the Hermit. So there we go. 7 major cards, Cancer. So the Hermit's just about sort of being observant, having a step out of things. And indeed, too, if there is a pregnancy going on, of course, you know, one would be the Hermit more, wouldn't they? They'd sort of be, oh, okay, well, I can go out, but I'll just have to take it easy. I'm just going to let this magical process happen. All sorts of things can happen during this time of pregnancy. It's quite special. So therefore the Hermit comes in to sort of say, well, just stand out there and just be an observer rather than a competitor. Just take a break from the norm and just sort of be really wise. Also, you know, really trust your intuition, because the Hermit is a very wise man. I'm just going to put a extra card on that 5 of coins and on that 3 of cups. Just for you, Cancer, because it's such a beautiful reading and very strong. It's quite amazing how the water signs readings are much more, they're not so sort of confronting as the other signs. Okay, so underneath the 5 of coins, so that's standing on the outside looking in. So under the surface of that we have 2 of coins, so moving forward, juggling, doing well. You know you do well. You know, making the decision to move forward. Don't get stuck in the past or refer what choice and decision you're making this time to anything you've done before. You've sort of come full circle, so just there you go, and moving forward with it. You'll still be able to do whatever you're doing. A very good juggling card, this one, so it's all fine. You know you can do it. It's just making that decision. So underneath the positive feelings card of the 3 of cups, we have the 6 of coins. So very, yeah, things really sort of balanced, sorted. Lots of give and take here with partnerships. Things work well. Teamwork. Just generally a really good balanced time for you. Whatever's going on. Whatever this reading has been for you individually, this is a beautiful card. Okay, Cancer, now let's just have a look at our message from the Buddha reading cards and see what's coming on and out. What message? Pure effort. Enlightenment is not your birthright. Those who succeed do only through proper effort. Consider all spiritual teachings as an intellectual exercise to be practiced daily, diligently and with discipline. This constant effort to maintain your daily practice is central to all spiritual practices that bring about personal transformations. So there you go, pure effort. And that's what I was talking about before with that, when we were talking about in the reading, we were talking about the formula that you use for everything. You know, just as long as you stick to that formula, putting in, getting out, you'll always be fine. So pure efforts, always, it's needed every day. Although sometimes we think, I'm not doing it today. But you see what happens. You end up probably feeling guilty because you didn't. Have a wonderful time of Scorpio. Cancer, thank you so much for listening. Talk next season.